eliminating paid memberships, which is okay with us because we've never denied anyone any of our services, whether you're a member or not. If you haven't signed up for our raffle, you can go to the tree over there. Mike's holding up some sheets. Sign up for our raffle. We have Meow Wolf 5 tickets, Tom? Where's Tom? 5 pairs of tickets. Okay. Got to get out, son. Okay, first of all, I want to thank our walk committee led by our vice president, Tom Stark. Thank you, Tom, so much and assisted by Jessica Shover, our executive director. Yay, Jessica. And I also want to acknowledge Craig O'Hare, who did coordinated all of our print and radio ads. And I also want to acknowledge someone that kind of works in the background, but we couldn't do it without him, and that's Cameron Haight. Where's Cam? Yay, Cam. And then I also want to acknowledge our entire board. Raise your hands if I call your name. Every one of our board members pitched in, and so I don't want to leave anybody out. Is Dan Nicholson here? No. Terry Hershey? Louise Drisdale. Risha Fiorina. Yay, Risha. And Gary Mendez. Joe Pringle. Oh, there, Joe. Jackie Doherty. Thanks, Jackie. Jonathan Gordon. Yay, Jonathan. And Mike Owens, who everybody knows Mike. Mike was our largest fundraiser this year, as usual. So I really do appreciate all of your efforts and every little thing you guys did, whether it was little or large. Okay, I also want to thank our sponsors, which you can see on one of our. Okay. So St. Elizabeth Shelter, Christa St. Vincent, Zia Credit Union, the Lifelink, Enterprise Bank and Trust, Del Norte Credit Union, First Presbyterian Church, the Lopez family, Tom Stark's DWI program, and the Haight family. Thank you so much for all of your support. Also want to acknowledge Coca-Cola, who donated all of our drinks, and Meow Wolf for the raffle tickets. So now, I want to introduce our special guests that are here today. And some of you will have a few things to say. You don't have to, but you're all welcome to. First, I want to start off with our mayor, Alan Weber, who will read our proclamation for May is Mental Health Month. And we'll probably have a few things to say.
Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? You ready for a walk? Yes. Well, I look forward to this morning every year. And I'm glad we can all get back together again. And I'm also sad that we all get back together again. The challenge of mental health in our community is such a tough issue. It touches everybody's lives, everybody. There's nobody in our community who isn't affected by the challenge of mental health. And we need so many more resources to be able to speak to those needs. So to get together like this, to share our stories, and to commit ourselves to doing better every single year is the right thing to do. It's really important. It's essential that we keep walking and talking and sharing and working to help people in our community, ourselves and our families, and to provide the services that are so deeply needed. To the volunteers who make this happen, thank you all for doing this. This is amazing. Please give everybody a round of applause for putting this on one year after another, after another, after another. Keep walking and keep talking and keep helping everybody get the help they need. As it says over there, you are not alone, and that's the message we're carrying with us. So with that, let me just read this proclamation. I may. Better? Better. All right. We got the best DJ in town right here making it all happen. Oh, you're the best. All right, you ready? This is a proclamation of the City of Santa Fe. Whereas May is Mental Health Month, during which NAMI and the rest of the country are raising awareness of mental health, and whereas it is estimated that approximately 13% of Santa Fe County adults have a serious mental illness, and New Mexico has the 4th highest rate of suicide in the country. And whereas mental health issues affect parents, sisters, brothers, neighbors, and co-workers, all of the people in our community, in all our lives. Whereas early identification and treatment can make a profound difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery. And whereas the NAMI Santa Fe affiliate, through its support, education, and advocacy programs, addresses the needs of individuals and their families impacted by mental illness. And whereas NAMI Santa Fe advocates for better mental health services, systems, and laws by partnering with other Santa Fe community stakeholders, and whereas NAMI Santa Fe works to abolish stigma through public education and community outreach activities, and whereas NAMI Santa Fe will participate in NAMI Walks, the nation's largest mental health awareness and fundraising event, being held on Saturday, May 18, 2024 at Alto Bicentennial Park in Santa Fe. And whereas observance of Mental Health Month in the City of Santa Fe will help raise awareness of the importance of mental health, and that with proper treatment, recovery is possible. Now, therefore, I, Alan M. Weber, Mayor of the City of Santa Fe, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Month. Thank you, everybody. Here's to our young people who need help, our seniors who are isolated, every family, everybody in our community. This proclamation is for you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, another special guest we have is Representative Tara Lujan, who will say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I want to keep this short. And I want to say thank you to the mayor for those words and for that proclamation. It really touches on all the statistics that we are well aware of. And I'd like to say and say thank you for honoring the month of May as an awareness month for behavioral health and mental health. But it's every day. It's every day that we come together. It's every day that we have to wake up, go to bed, fill our day with whatever we have to do to get through things and help others as well. And I wanted to say and acknowledge that, because that's the reality. Reality of behavioral health, the reality of our mental health is every day awareness. So I just want to sink that in a little bit and to let everybody know we aren't alone. And that's a hard one to take, because when you're in it and you're feeling it and you're going through that roller coaster and you're taking that dive, you really do feel alone. And that's when it's so important to have these programs. It's so important to have the focus come into the realm of lawmakers such as myself. And I just want to say, and I want to thank the governor right now, because she is super focused right now on the intersectionality between behavioral health, mental health, and our justice system, which is some legislation that I was working on this past session. And I want to thank the advocates for coming out and saying, wait a second, we all need to we need to wait a minute and all participate and make sure that everybody's voice is heard, because there are some questions around how we are moving through policy making. And some of you are here today, and I want to say thank you for being there. Thank you for your voices as we are making these policies. But I want to say bringing the issue of mental health to the forefront is super important. And I want to give that thank and recognition to our governor, because she cares so much that she's working very hard on that with legislators, with stakeholders, and it's long overdue in a lot of the areas of policy that we work on, but it's here at the forefront because of you, because we care, because of those that have been affected by behavioral health, who've had and dealt with issues. Myself, I always talk about postpartum depression because that's what I suffered, and from that, my the doors of awareness really just flew open, and from that point on, I have become an advocate, and I have helped in many ways in helping our mothers and our youth and our citizens and anybody that needs anything. So when you come to me and we're listening, I want to let you know we are here and we are listening, and the state has done some record types of distribution of funding. We put $1 billion into behavioral health, mental health programs to our agencies, and and those agencies are working to build out those programs. We need a boot of your voice. I need your voice, so that as we are moving and changing things, because we do need to change a lot of things. I'm going to be quite honest, but it takes you, it takes me, it takes all of us, it takes our community to make those changes, and you're doing it, and that starts with awareness. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Representative Lujan. And I have to say that she is one of our biggest supporters, sponsors many of our behavioral health bills, is currently working on another one that's probably going to be in the special session, Tara? The criminal competency bill? Yeah, so she's really out there working for us. Thank you. Okay, here's the spot. Are you sure? Now I want to introduce Nick Bucas, our Director of Behavioral Health Services Division.
The problem is I have a slight limp to the left, so we'll see how that goes. All right. So first off, thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. And I want to give a couple of shout outs. I just want to start off by saying that this is my third speaking event this week, and I've always had to follow really tough people. So thank you to the mayor. When we talk about our representatives, I just want to give a shout out to Representative Lujan, because she takes that title very seriously of being a representative of you in the community to the Roundhouse, and that is so very important. So thank you. And a big shout out to Betty and the board from NAMI. Thank you for putting this together and for being the advocates that you are. But I want to give the biggest shout out to all of you for being here today and really bringing awareness. So please give yourselves a round of applause. I'm not going to talk long, which I know staff are going to laugh at that, but that's okay. But what I do want to raise awareness of here in this community in Santa Fe, we have one of the first CCBHCs, which is a Certified Community Behavioral Health Center. And that is to try and bridge a lot of the gaps that occurs in behavioral health. We have very active programs, and people always say, well, if we have these programs, why are things not changing? Well, I would just say that they are changing. It's just that they change slowly and a lot of times behind the scenes. We have a program, and I invite you to come over to the table, called 988, where people can call in and get help in that moment. And most importantly, it resolves issues so that they're not going to the emergency room, that they're not interacting with the police or fire or EMS, okay? We have had over 40,000 calls this year into 988, and over 90% of them were resolved on the phone with a link to resources so that they don't have to feel isolated. They don't have to feel singled out or that there's a stigma. That's what we're going to continue to build, okay? And that's going to take a little bit of time. And I just want to say, You know, people always say, what's the magic wand for behavioral health? What's the magic wand for mental illness? There is none. I'm sorry, okay? But it takes this. It takes awareness, it takes effort, and it takes persistence. This isn't like orthopedics where you sprain your ankle, they give you an ACE bandage and a Motrin and say stay off of it for 6 weeks. But it takes community support, it takes family support, and I really thank NAMI for raising that awareness up and saying, let's do this together. And we're going to continue to work on those things like family supports and programs that make it easier for folks to get the services that they need and not try to fit them into something else. So thank you, and Betty, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Nick. Okay, I want to introduce now County Treasurer Jennifer Manzanares, who always supports us and is here every year. Thank you, Jennifer.
Morning. Thank you, Betty, and thank you for everyone. I think a lot has been shared, and I think the spot is right here. Yeah? Okay. To our representative for all of the legislation, our leaders, I see Marco this morning who attends these events because he recognizes the importance. So Marco, thank you so much. I see your beautiful mama, who really takes a family. I believe in a community. Mayor, good morning. Thank you for everyone who comes and attends these, because I can tell you that one of the things that I share, and I've shared through the many years with Tom, doing some work with him in the community, that truly mental health is at the forefront. And I'm so excited to hear that there's going to be some legislation to see those intersections happen. Today with me, I have Lucy and Carlos. And one thing that I will leave you with to think about is the kids that are affected by mental health and substance abuse misuse, and how we can maybe coordinate efforts for our kiddos, right? That come with such high ACEs scores at such a young age, and how they are truly grieving so much of the losses that we grieve as adults, and they have no idea where to start. And so truly engaging with CYFD and supporting them to support their kids. And so I just give big shout out to everyone who's here, to the organizers. I know it's a lot of work, and so I'm looking forward to a nice walk this morning, and an organization that means so much to me. And so, que viva todos.
Thanks, Jennifer. And I'm glad you mentioned kids' mental health, because one of the things that NAMI is trying to start is a new program called Basics. It's a family education program for family members of children. So if you know anyone who would like to take that program, who is in need, you can tell Terry here at the table. We have 2 teachers, Bill Schuler and his wife Tina. I haven't seen Tina. Oh, there she is. Who just trained to become those teachers. So you can also talk to them about the program. Has anybody seen City Councilor Alma Castro? No? Maybe later. Let's see. So I also do want to acknowledge our former DA, Marco Serna, here. Thank you, Marco, for coming to join us in this important event. And then we also have another special guest, Nella Domenici. Let me just tell you a little bit about the Domenici. Nella is the late Senator Pete Domenici's daughter, and her family has been huge supporters of NAMI. They also have been NAMI members for many years. They've supported the NAMI mission, and so let's just hear from Nella as to how she and her family have supported the NAMI mission.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for including me in this wonderful event. And I just want to share a little bit about why my family's involved in mental illness, and why NAMI was so helpful to my family, and why we continue to support NAMI over the last 40 years. So about 40 years ago, my sister, who was just 2 years younger than me, was a scholar athlete in high school one year. The next year, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and her life was forever changed, and our whole family's life was forever changed. But like all of you, I imagine, when she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, that was had a bad stigma attached to it, and people weren't willing to talk about it, and we didn't really know where to go. So there's two things my parents did that were really important then when they first heard about her diagnosis. My parents told all of the kids, there were 8 kids in my family, they told us, we're going to be open about this. We're not going to be secretive. We're going to share what we learn. And as we help our sister, we'll be helping America. I'm not sure what that static is, so I apologize. Oh, go back. There we go. How's that? But it's really important that I share this with you all. NAMI was hugely helpful to my family at that point in time. My father was a United States Senator, and despite his resources and access, we were lost. Her diagnosis was unclear. The therapies she needed were unclear. The time and money my parents had to dedicate to her was so stressful on our family. And my parents reached out to NAMI, and NAMI members took the time to share their experiences with my family, to share their knowledge about where to get help and about the different services. And it was that support from NAMI that was hugely, hugely helpful to my parents early on when they were really lost. And so many people with mental illness, when they first get it diagnosed, they feel lost. They feel they're in the dark. They don't know where to turn. And what's so incredible about NAMI is that all of these families who have gone through the same thing connect and help each other. And my father, spent 36 years in the Senate. I think his biggest accomplishment, his single biggest accomplishment in the Senate was working in a bipartisan way. Mental illness is not partisan, but he worked with Ted Kennedy and Senator Wellstone, and the 3 of them together, it took them 15 years of hard work, but the 3 of them together in a bipartisan way created a law called mental health parity. And that meant that all of the health insurance companies that had previously only provided health insurance for physical illnesses had to provide mental health insurance. This was a huge a hugely important part of my father's career. It was hugely important to Senator Kennedy and Senator Wellstone. And it's that leadership that they brought to the country that I hope and I see all of you bring all the time. Because the number one problem with mental illness is still to this day. It was 40 years ago, but it's still to this day, the stigmatization that comes with it. We need to continue to destigmatize mental illness. But of course, we need more money for research. We need more psychologists, more social workers, more psychiatrists. We need more neurologists working with the psychiatrist. We need more home healthcare settings for the mentally ill. We need better medical therapies. So we've come a long way. I was 27 when I first really started getting involved in mental illness in a huge way. And I know how things have changed. I still remember one of the great scientists when I was getting involved 27 years ago. I got involved in an organization called the Research for Schizophrenia and Depression. And it was the leading organization for research on schizophrenia and depression. And one of the famous doctors told me then, our goal is for mental illness to be more like diabetes, something people don't have to be embarrassed to talk about, something where there's a clear therapeutic path to make things better. And we've come a long way. Maybe we're halfway, maybe we're a third of the way there. But it's really because of these grassroots efforts that exist all around our country, because you are the voice of the mentally ill, and you bring that voice to the front, and that's what really drives the change. So my family's hugely appreciative of everything NAMI did for them. And Similarly, now that NAMI did so much for them, my mother and father have been giving back. When my father died, it was one of the 2 charities we asked people to give to. My mother, who's 89 and a half, who's a small, humble woman, has never been on a board except one board, NAMI, National NAMI. She was on that board for about 8 years, and I still remember every 3 months her bed would be filled with papers and she would be worried about so many things that she was going to deal with on that board. So the commitment from our end to you has been unending, but the commitment from you all to us has been equal. And we're halfway there, and if we lock elbows and continue to be open, continue to share, and continue to help, we'll get up to the next level of the hill in a very, very bipartisan and constructive way. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ellen. Pardon? We on now? Maybe that's better. Yay, DJ Soul. I also want to acknowledge DJ Soul, who has come and, out of the goodness of his heart, been here to DJ for us every walk. Thank you, DJ Soul.
I love our community.
Yay. Do you want to say a few words?
You know what, I will.
Okay.
I usually don't. And this is how we got to get down. It's holding each other up. It's our responsibility to do so. And it's a privilege and a pleasure. So thank you for having me. And thank you for showing up for our friends and our family and our community. And thank you, guys.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. Whoops. Must be me. And then, lastly, before we start our walk, but just as importantly, this morning we wanted to shine a spotlight on one of our evidence-based programs called Family to Family. It's our family education program. Louise Drisdale and Michelle Hurling just finished an 8-week program, and she's going to read a few excerpts from evaluations we got on the program, kind of to let you guys know how effective our programs are.
Good morning. I know we've got a few papers here, but I'm not going to really read all of them. I wanted to share with you some feedback from our group that we were with for 8 weeks. And it becomes a family when you share 2.5 hours each week of a family-to-family session. We wanted to share, the focus of that family-to-family is to share how you can move through and understand your loved one better. So these are a few of the testimonials on an aha moment, and I'll read them directly from what they wrote, just so that you can understand where they come from. I really liked the empathy section and the activity of the class simulating voices. That said more to me about what it is like to hear voices. The life experiences showed by the group showed how wide the ravage of mental health conditions are. Okay, many shared hopeful prayers. I would say no particular aha moment, but a reinforcement of what I am learning. Patience, healing, and kindness are my takeaways, in addition to continually learn, and learn. This speaks to the people that take the class and walk away with what they need to continue to support their loved one in their lives. So thank you.
Thank you, Louise. I also want to say that as a complimentary class to the family to family is the peer-to-peer, which is for individuals with a mental health condition. And that's also an 8-week class, and we hope to do another one this year. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up here with Terry at our table. Okay, so I think we're done with all of the speeches. Thank you for all being here. I want to just say a few housekeeping words. One are the bathrooms are, you got to take a walk, but they're over catty corner to the tennis courts. Get drinks and snacks if you haven't already. Get a t-shirt or bandana if you haven't already. Also the Meow Wolf raffle. You can still go sign up for that. If you don't want to do the, I think it's about a 1.4 mile walk. We're going to start over here. Mike is going to lead, or Craig or Mike, both of those guys are going to lead it. And you're going to go up this side of the river to a point. Do not go past St. Francis Drive. We cannot cross any streets, any city streets. And then we're going to come down Alameda. There's signs, you can grab a sign.